All right, it's a long road enough for some. Life is like a puzzle. You get lost along the way. As for me, it's
True.
a journey. I could talk about that all day. But let me try wrap it up in a quick synopsis. So
Yes.
ever since I was small, I grew up in a place called Old Harbour Road, Spanish Town, Jamaica. And then later on went to Fraser's Content, where my mom is from. That's where I was residing last before I moved over to the United States. But during my tender age, I always like reading. So it started from the interest of reading. So me always tell you them say read, 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 and furthermore you achieve greatness. You get me? Um Nursery rhyme. Fast forward to high school because I remember I wrote my mom my first poem when I was 9, and of course from it boosts me more from it since she shared that smile. In high school, it was all about writing nursery rhymes and I love you poems for the girls, and I like that something there because all the girls that get attached to me. You get me? Plus, I'm also an artist, so me being talented was something that helped me push through to say, yeah, this is what I want to do. You get me? Shortly after that, I start doing music after I left high school because I wanted more than just poetry. Still doing poetry over the years. I met with all types of people. We start from Dog St. Arbin, who were one of the first set of psalmists slash poet I get to know. Later on, I was introduced to Antonio Valier, Wise Words, Richie Innocent, who is also a nominee. And it was when I could go on because there are many, many more warriors. Charlie Bubbles was one who inspired me from the get-go because Charlie Bubbles, at that time, he was in Canada doing a lot of great works. And I also was amazed by that. We can't leave out the great Miss Lou, who, she lived a real legend. You get me? I say, and she leave a legacy where only for people that want to adapt. You get me? Further on that, I was in New York now, where persons wanted my book because I could remember Antonio Valier was and Lionel Shida was doing an event at Rastakura This Poem Show in Portland. And I was like, yo, I can't wait for the moment when I actually can have a book out. And they were like, hey, Amaziyah, I can't wait for the moment when we start recite your poems without even looking at my books. I was in New York, Sarah Satiba going on with some event in Brooklyn. At that time, I never had my book yet. Spoke with Antonia Valier, and she gave me the guidelines and said, hey, this is what you do through KDP. And, it was a joy because they are foreign and you're not work and you're not have nothing to do. You still don't want to waste your time. So you put your talent to good use. So therefore, the book came about, and the rest is history. I've been moving from place to places. I came to Rhode Island shortly after my book came out. I met with no wife, but then she was just part of the poetry for me, and she connected me with so many events all over Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and the list goes on. 2 years after, I was awarded at a Time Ras promotion. The same Rasatiba had an event, and he recognized me for my contribution towards my the creative world. And no, IRAWMA last year, they see me, they recognize me, and the rest is just history. Spend most of my time on TikTok reciting poems for the fans all over, persons who I never met, persons who never liked poetry a day in their life. No, I'm their favorite poet. You get me? And now it's fascinating to be nominated the second time again. So it's a pleasure.
Well, it's good to hear your journey,
Yes.
Craig. And one of the things is I like the whole idea of you understanding what is it that you want, what is it that you want to accomplish and working towards it. Now, have you seen in the near future where one of your book can be transformed into either a short film or a full featured film?
Definitely, because some of the stories I told, there are short films. I have one on YouTube now. My name is Pam, and basically it's just the poetry version of it, telling a story about. Because when we are Jamaica, you know, we hear about the I am a boy, I am a girl. My name is Pam. My name is Roy. So when I wrote that, I definitely tell a story of how, cause you with it small in them days there. You know, we say Pam and Roy grow big now, but at that time, you know, domestic violence was on a hike back in Jamaica, and that's how that creative body of work came about. And yeah, definitely I'm in short films. I told a short story. There's the extended version of it also on YouTube. So definitely I write that type of way with some of my poems. And that's the intention, to inspire young and old age, and we try, you know, keep it squeaky clean so the young and the old can, you know, listen and feel a joy from what we are saying.
I'm gonna put something on the screen right now, and I think it's something from you. I'm believing it's a quote, probably from you. I want to take a look at this quote, and we look at it. Go ahead, my producer, and put that front and center for me, please. It says, "Believe in yourself. The power is within you." Was that a life experience? Something happened while you come up with this quote?
So, okay, it takes me back to many years ago. I was on a radio show. It's a very powerful and popular platform. I chose not to reveal their names because this is something that will be said in the near or far future. Now, there were 5 people on the panel, and they all said, when they played my poem on live radio, all 5 of them say, "Yo, you have to dump this." And it's quite sad how these people are, you know, representatives of the creative arts, and them say dump it. I've never re-recorded it. I've never tried to do it over. It's the same poem, and today I can tell you that it's clocking over 90,000 views without even being promoted. 2 weeks after they said what they say, JCDC their waterfront downtown Kingston, and somebody just shot me and said I was on my way home. Them say, "Yo, poetry up on waterfront, you know." And I roll out. I saw Dawit there, and Dawit they had to leave. But after I performed that poem, it's called Respect. After performing that poem, the people, the producer, everybody, they said, "No, man, you cannot leave. Are you win the $10,000?" And that was my first ever compensation from doing poetry without even knowing that I would be paid. Now, that also help fuels my fire to tell every youth to, you know, doubt themselves, and every youth to people be telling that, hey, you're not gonna win. That's a perfect example because it's also monetized. I'm still getting compensation from YouTube. I'm still promoting that poem everywhere I go, and it's still, you know, speaking volumes. So for anyone in the garrison, or not even at the garrison, in our world which we're living, and people, because not just in a garrison community, people all over will tell you, say, hey, where you do not go work, this what you're doing, it makes no sense. The one thing from you believe, say it will work, and knowing yourself that you're going to take it to the next level, you know, success will come. I never know I'll be a poet. I never know I'll be, you know, having book. I never know I would be working on my second book. You get me? And it's quite fascinating that, as I said before, inspiring young and old age, because the elder people respect my poems. The younger generation respect my poems. Today's people respect my poems. So believe in yourself and keep going for your goals.
I love that, for real. Believe in yourself, man. The power is within you, so only you can stop you.
Precisely.
So to speak. I love that, for real. So we know that you have been nominated for the second time for the IRAWMA Awards. That must be a great feeling, knowing that, you know, you believe in yourself and you're doing what you are destined to do, my brother. So and this is not an off question, but before I had introduced you, I dropped a piece called "Don't Cry."
Mm-hmm.
Was that your mom
No, that wasn't my
in
mom.
the,
That was a total stranger I saw when I was in. So after IRAWMA last year, some people called me back again. I was called back in Florida about 3 different times, and that was just one of the events. I think that was Palm Beach, where they had me do the Jamaica Day event, and big respect to them. It was basically my performance with them sip on the IRAWMA. I was also contacted by Winsome Green, who did Queen Mode, and basically I met them all at IRAWMA. So IRAWMA been doing tremendous works over the years. Before me, the ladies now, there were some people who I just met. So my type of vibration everywhere I go in the world, as long as I see people and I say hi and I see they smile, I start to introduce myself. Hey, I'm Craig A. Kirkland. I'm Amaziyah the Great. I'm a poet. Would you like to hear a poem I do? And as long as them say yes, I'm willing. That was only just one poem recorded, but I did about 3 different poems, and they're all very elated about it. And one of them end up crying because I did a very emotional one. And this is the way I go all across to touch people's heart deeply within.
Oh, the name Amaziyah the Great. What does the name Amaziyah means?
So me give my definition, even though it's a biblical name. When I used to go to high school, it was Ambrose Skull. I met with Alpha Rowan when I left Featherbed Lane, and him always said the skull thing not so right. Richie Stevens was the one. I don't know if you remember, because this about more than 2 decades ago. I was at the Hilton Hotel, and him and Bankilos did that. I don't know if him can remember this, but Steven Seagal was here in Jamaica with a role with a lady named Christine Hewitt. Carly in the dancehall queen came over and say, I saw you and thought it was Bounty Killer. I'm gonna just change up my voice and say, yeah, that's what they all say. But anyway, Banky did I say what a man favor Bojo? And Richie Steve well said, no, a killer the man favor. You get what I say? So I went to his studio about, a few times, and he said, try to find a name with meaning that's sculpting the naga working at the business. You get what I say? And it was quite interesting if you know, say, at the time I was like, yo, what this brother said to me? But then I recalled Alpha Rowan and other people. One time I took the skull thing serious, and I had a shirt with whole heap of skull on it. And then 2 Christian ladies come in my yard and them start pray and start say a bag of things. And when I saw all those things, I decided, what, I'm just gonna change. I was reading the Bible. He was a king from Judah, but I start give it my own definition. Like I say, I saw the word amaze, M-A-Z, and I represent I myself, and Yah represent Yahweh, and we are all great people. So I say Amaziyah the Great.
Just collided together.
Precisely.
Together. I love it. I love it. Amaziyah the Great, ladies and gentlemen. Craig A. Kirkland, my special guest. Thank you so very much, Craig. Really appreciate your company, and of course, admire your journey, my brother. And I know that there's the journey doesn't stop here. There's a lot more young and older folks out there need your inspiration that you have, my brother. And we're looking forward to hear more of you. Poetry is a thing. Some people have to research it to see where it's at. And we know that with the work of you and others, it will become a thing where people just know that, hey, a big poetry show is going to be here on this day. We don't have to research it. Without further ado, let me introduce to you none other than Craig A. Kirkland, Amaziyah the Great.
Tell them precisely. So blessings and respect. It's a pleasure being here. Respect to all your fans, all your citizens across the universe, my kids, my parents, wifey, Lori, the whole Pawtucket Poetry team, Rhode Island, New York, everywhere all over the world, yard and abroad. I realize a lot of the kids them glued to their gadgets. And lots of them now read. You don't know, books are here to read. You get me? So keep read, and more knowledge you will achieve. Check out Lori's book, Tucked in Flowers Hidden in Plain Sight. That's for wife. Don't Cry by Craig A. Kirkland. For our children to know real quick. TC Flexx. I want my children to know me as one that is great. Education is essential. Time mustn't waste. With the power of knowledge, there's no limit to what you can create. You will encounter hurdles in life, even frightening earthquakes, but never stop. Aim higher and escalate. I also stumbled and fell on my journey. TC, I made mistakes. Still, I elevate and stay awake. Fueling my mind with positive energy while I vibe and meditate. I pay close attention to nature and sounds birds make. People business, when I discuss in a mix up, when I partake. My heart aches, I can't take. Liars and pretenders all fake. Hence why I separate myself from illusion. Confusion will never penetrate the core of my mind. I smile, I embrace greatness, fearness among all human race. IRAWMA, notice this face, when I live trace, I will never disgrace my people for position, rather empower you in this case. But it's somewhat complicated when the world is in a sick state. Love, politics, and religion are folks in a trick state. Miseducation, misinformation, misunderstandings, mistakes are the reason for your failure. So let's rise and surprise them with a bliss face. One more poem before I go, but before I do that, let me take the time out and say thanks again to IRAWMA and the entire team. You get to me, I say big respect to, Diva, Grace, Ephraim, everybody, all of the nominees, them, all of the poets, everyone who put this thing together. We all need to embrace poetry because the poets are here and we're not stop. We are the persons them who are going to continue to soothe the hearts of the people worldwide throughout this global catastrophe that is about to occur. So support the poem people and stop support the nonsensical things there. You get to me, I say? Nothing wrong. There's absolutely nothing wrong when you asking the wrong questions. What makes it correct is when you've been provided with the right answers. Nothing wrong in you making mistakes. In this case, what makes it great is when you learn from your errors and you elevate. Penetrate and meditate on the great things you desire to achieve in life. Separate yourself from people who don't want to see you thrive. Realize life is no bed of roses on a smooth pathway. There are hurdles to overcome. There are bitterness and harsh days. There'll be moments of sadness and grief. And there'll be moments of happiness making you feel like you want to laugh all day. During your first heartbreak, you probably yell at yourself in the mirror, I can't take this no more. No joking. Perhaps you'll be smoking or consuming alcoholic substances like you've never done before. It's like your entire world keep crumbling while you're grumbling. Why have you done this to me? Nothing wrong in you crying, expressing your emotions. No need for fightings or commotions. We were educated poorly about love. Ignorance is like an addiction and will mess you up like drugs. What makes it wrong is when you allow your negative thoughts to become your actions. So think first and allow time to heal you. Nothing wrong in giving spaces or letting go if it now work out to be the best. Think about it. Probably that causes stress. Nothing wrong in you seeking advice or counseling when you really need help. Someone really love you. Don't continue to blame yourself. And after you overcome the dark phase, there'll be a stronger version of self. And you will learn to love and appreciate your very own existence. TC, in life we encounter challenges, tackle something new. Nothing wrong in taking a risk as entrepreneurs do. If no one believes in what you're passionate about, Flexx TV, at least you believe in you. And that's where it all started for your dreams to become true. Ephraim Martin, nothing wrong if you fail at first. It's all a part of the game. I'm not saying you're the worst. As long as you don't give up, try harder again. Sure, you will prevail with persistence, my friends. Winning is a must. I am Amaziyah the Great. In God, I put my trust. Tell them precise. To the journey continue. TC, Flexx, we never stop.
Listen, man. Talent surpass many. It's like I'm sitting here listening to a motivational speaker, my brother.
Precisely.
Trust me, Craig. It's a reason why we have you here today, man. Not the mountain before the time.
Thank you very much.
We need that.
And when I get the sudden call, the sudden email, I was like, yeah, I'm ready. Because the thing is, I'm not that person to, someone should request and say, hey, we need your presence, or we need, fear your words. And I'll be like, hey, I'm too busy for you. Wherever I go, I'm ready. Ever since I was even younger and someone said, all right, set 2 lines, I'm ready. I don't have no time to wait, I'm ready.
Love that, Craig. Love that, my brother. Ladies and gentlemen, Craig A. Kirkland. The book is available on Amazon,
So
right?
the book is on Amazon. So this is Don't Cry. I dedicate this book to my parents and my kids. But be warned, it still have mature stuff. Not everything is for kids. You know, it got my experience. It talk about even politics. It talks about romance type of vibration. It talks about motivational stuff, young and old age. You get what I say? And while I'm on this live, you know, because I don't do not without promoting wifey just the same, because she's part of my journey. Tucked in Flowers, Hidden in Plain Sight, also available on Amazon. And yeah, all right, that's the thing there. We should be rolling up in IRAWMA, and you don't know. Tell them say IRAWMA, it's greatness. Tell them precisely.
Nothing like a great union that speak the same language, my brother.
For persons to follow me, you don't know, at Precisely Great on Instagram. Big respect to the persons them here on TikTok watching the live. Also, artist Craig Kirkland on TikTok. So, right, that's the thing there.
Follow you, my brother. Love, peace, and happiness here.
Salute and big respect to you, the whole Flexx TV, FM team, IRAWMA team. Big respect. Amaziyah the Great is here, and the poets are here. And we say, yo, greatness about to unfold even more. Tell them precisely.
The red carpet on the 30th of March. Love
Precisely.
and respect, Craig. Precisely. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Craig A. Kirkland, a.k.a. Amaziyah the Great, and he will be there at IRAWMA, the 42nd staging, and that is IRAWMA, the International Reggae and World Music Award. That's coming here to South Florida.
The poets have always been on the rise. We only need a little bit more support from you guys. Spoken Word in 2025 is definitely keeping the vibe alive. 5 Jamaican poets are among 160 nominees for International Reggae and World Music Awards, IRAWMA. Oh my goodness, this is worldwide. Especially if Onstage TV have this televised. Ephraim Martin, for over 50 years you kept this dream alive. You are the one that should be the recipient of an honorary prize. Kudos goes out to Martin International team. I love you guys. Pathetic are they thinking they can block us out? My face is glowing with smiles. We don't try to compete, we complete the mission with our own unique style. From Jamaica to Africa, USA, Canada, Caribbean and worldwide. Support the poets as we make strides. We strive for excellence. Tell dirty pestilence, move and go one side. I stay focused. It's not time to divide. It's time for flights in the skies. Flying to Florida side. Coral Spring, March 30th. IRAWMA, igniting lives like bright lights in night skies. So go vote now. For more information, visit IRAWMA.com. Tell them precisely.